Hello, hello, and welcome to Notary Life with Kimmy. I am Kimmy. I am here with Alexis and Jeffrey. I'll let them introduce themselves. I am one of the trainers and notary educators where we teach you how to be a great notary as well as how to build your business. But it all starts with knowing how to stamp that paper. All right, we'll let Alexis introduce herself and then we'll get Jeffrey.
Hello, everybody. My name is Alexis Notary Services, and also a member of Notary Educators, along with Kimmy, Jeff, and Angela. Hello, welcome to our Monday night.
I'm glad you mentioned Angela. She could not make it tonight. She actually had a couple signings. Jeffrey?
Yeah, hey everybody. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yep. Okay. Hey everybody. This is Jeff, another member of Notary Educators, and good to see everyone this evening. And we're looking forward to having a few things to talk about this evening.
Yes. So welcome to everybody that will join us on the replay also, as well as the podcast. In case you didn't know, Notary Life with Kimmy has a podcast. All right. So just to get things started, guys, tonight's topic is how to ask signing companies for more money. How? We've been hearing so much, and it's not new. We talked about it actually probably 6 months ago or so about $20 signings, $5 almost, $5 signings. I mean, you can't even leave your house for that, right? Hey, Stacey Ann, what's up, Latoya? Everybody is joining us. So tonight we're going to talk about, though, how to ask for more money. Okay, because there's going to be times that you want to ask for more money. So you need to know how to do it. Okay, so as I mentioned already, it's a lot of $20 offers out there. And when we price our jobs or accept jobs, we're thinking about how far is it? How many pages is it? What kind of package is it? All of those kind of things factor into whether or not we're going to accept an assignment or not, right? But you look at it and you say, they want me to do all of this for $20? I don't think so. Hey, Swan, how are you? And everyone's complaining about it. It is not anything new. Hey, Tamika, how are you? Everyone's complaining about these low fees. So I want us to be strategic. I don't want you just saying no to every assignment that comes across your phone, okay? Because most people are like, nope, I'm not going to do it. Nope, I'm worth more than that. Nope, nope, nope. Let's get creative because we want our business to grow. And if we're saying no to everything with the hope of eventually getting back to $100 per job or per signing, you won't work right now because it's very rare. Hey, Mr. Ken, Tamisha, someone's on Facebook. Alexis, can you see who that is? It's very rare. Who is it?
Rachel Hunter.
Hey, Rachel. Yeah, it's kind of rare right now to see 100, 125, 150. Now, as we've stated for the 15th time, these jobs are coming in like very, very low. Correct. Swan is saying to negotiate. Tamika saying I negotiated with signing company as we speak. Yes, that's the point. That's what we're going to talk about tonight. Hey, Ace Snipes, what's going on? That's where I want to teach you how to negotiate. I want to teach you how to ask for more money. Okay, so first of all, we're going to ask very respectfully. Okay, I'm going to tell you what to say, but I want to go over a few do's. Okay, we're going to ask very respectfully. First of all, we are not going to lose our composure. We are not going to be act like we from the streets. We're going to be business professionals at all times. Okay, so I'm going to give you the verbiage that you'll need to use. And yeah, Latoya said she just had a signing come in for $20. Yeah, see, we're not leaving the house for $20. Okay, it's nothing they can offer me. I'm leaving my house for $20. There's not. Even one page is going to be more than that. Okay. So let's get into the verbiage, though. What does that sound like? So I'll give you some verbiage that I use. We'll see what Alexis and if Jeffrey joins us, he dropped off, looks like. But we'll give you a little verbiage when you're asking for more money, okay? When they call on the telephone, hey, Kimberly, this is Susie, ABC 123 signing. We have a job for you. And it's $30, 75 pages. We would like you to drive to ABC 455 in Decula, Georgia. Oh, wow, Susie, I would be so honored. Now, this is what you're going to say to Susie, okay? Susie, I would love to accept the assignment, but would it be possible for you to go up on that at least to whatever your minimum is? For me to do what I just said probably is going to sound more like at least $65, $75, depending on what time of day they're calling me. You know, it's a lot of things that I think about when I price my jobs. But I'll just say something like, Susie, I would love to accept the assignment. Is there any way we can get that rate up just a little bit, around like more like the $75 mark or the $65 mark? Now, it depends on how long you've been working with the company, what type of notary you've been for them. If you're brand new, they're probably going to push back. But if you've been working with them for a while, they may say, well, I have to get it approved. That's their standard line. I have to get it approved by the title. I have to get it approved by the client. And you'll say, oh, no worries, I'm available. And then that's what you'll do. You'll be kind. You'll let them know that you do want the work. And that will be expressed in your tone. They will hear it if you're in your feelings and you're like, how much? No, we're going to always remain the professional and already be on guard knowing that they're going to offer these low amounts right now, okay? So I already know that. That's half the knowledge of when you're going to battle with somebody, for lack of a better word right now. You already have the heads up. You know they're coming in low. So now what do we do to get it to where we both can be happy? Alexa, did you have any thoughts on how you would phrase that if you were actually talking to someone on the phone?
Yeah, exactly how you said it. I would basically word for word. The only thing in addition to that is depending on how the conversation is going. Some people, they understand, they've been doing this. They're like, okay, we'll negotiate it. And then others, you kind of have to sell yourself a little bit. What I bring, how far I am. And, if I have to bring a witness, start talking the language a little bit, sound like a little something. So kind of bring that value as to maybe why you're asking for a little more. So it depends on the person, the company, and it depends on, how the conversation is going. So either way, but exactly how you said it is how I come all the time. Always nice. And just like you said, appreciative that you even called me or chose me, depending on how they found you or if you have a relationship with them already. But always thankful in the end, because at the end of the day, they don't have to contact you. And negotiation is that. It's negotiation. It's yes or no,
And that negotiation works two ways. Thank you, Alexis. I love everything you said. And Alexis even added a couple more things we can negotiate. Sometimes they will call you and the phone call sounds like this. It's going to be a lot of role playing right quick. We're only here for about 30 minutes, guys, because we both have other appointments tonight we cannot get out of. So we'll be here for about 30, but I'm going to be very practical. So when they tell you, okay, well, it's going to be $35 and you have to pay your witnesses out of that, and that leaves you a net of $10. How does that sound? Mr. John, ABC Signing Company. Again, I would love to accept the assignment. However, once I pay my witness, that would only leave me with $10, and that ain't gonna work. We're not gonna say it quite like that. But just be frank. You need to let them know. No, and this is how I say it. This is my exact words. Oh, yes, Mr. John, my fee as the notary is $50. In addition to that, I pay my witnesses normally $25. Okay? So you have to set the parameter too. And the reason you're going to be able to do this, as Alexa stated so eloquently, is because you're going to be able to speak the lingo. You're going to know how and what they're looking for. And that means you have to have had training. So if you're a newer notary, you're not going to be able to speak the talk and walk the walk. And they're going to know it. They're going to sense it. And they're going to say, nope, $20. They know you're a $20 notary. Now you need to ask yourself, am I a $20 notary? Or are you a notary that has been trained? You know what you're doing. You won't have errors, right? So if you need additional training on loan signing, Alexis is going to be your person. She's our loan signing agent trainer over here. So, you may need to look into that. But tonight we're giving you the verbiage again, okay? I'm hearing people in the audience here say, Stacey answers, she shows her confidence. She's always nice and professional. So Swan says, always have a smile in your voice. And that is so true, because they will hear your disappointment when they tell you $20 or $30. They're going to hear it. And that's going to immediately put them on guard. Okay. Also, Stacy Ann says, hold on one second. Let's see what else she's saying. She also doesn't recommend, don't comment on other notaries. Don't comment on other notaries. Yes, I'm not sure what Stacy Ann is referring to. You could definitely add a little bit more to that. But I never say, well, I'm not going to mess up your stuff like other people. I've heard that before. That's what separates me from other notaries. I'm not going to jack up your stuff. No, you don't say anything about your competitor or other notaries in your area. That actually, to me, just doesn't look well. It doesn't set well. It doesn't sound nice. And even when people call me about training, other people's training, I never disparage or talk about anyone else's training, because each person. Stacy said, hey, Bryce, how you doing, Bryce? Stacy says, yes, go, Queen. Alexis will train you to drop the mic. Thank you, Stacy. That's funny, but she do kind of bleed long signings over here, y'all. She do. We all doing, but that's what her expertise is. So anyway, yeah, so we definitely want to be the professional. Jeffrey, do you have any comment you like to add when it comes to asking for more money? Oh, we can't. You're on mute.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know what you all have already discussed, but if when they call you and they give you a price, then you can explain something to their effect. Maybe it's the distance or for gas. I've said that to them before, to give them, say, hey, it's a little bit distance, or gas is a little bit more expensive, or whatever it might be. And then generally they will give you a better price or a higher price.
Yes, and it's nothing wrong with letting them know, hey, I have expenses, because I heard that recently some people are of the mindset, well, it's not the signing company's problem that you have to pay for toner, you have to pay for ink, you have to pay for gas and insurance, etc., right? And it's not their problem, but you're running a business just like they're running a business. So peer to peer, there's nothing wrong with you asking for more money. Okay. Even when it, so for example, I did have a couple more tips when it comes to asking for more money. So I gave you a few scenarios. I just did a little role playing with you, Alexis, myself, and Jeffrey. We just gave you a couple of real life verbiage to use, but you also want to negotiate prior, before accepting the assignment. Okay. Don't accept the assignment, look everything over, and then say, oh, you need to give me another $50. Okay, don't do that. That's the quickest way for them to blackball you. And then blackballing is a thing. They'll be like, she plays games with the money. If you're going to negotiate, you need to do it right up front, the moment they call you. Okay, the only time you can change your terms when it comes to negotiating is, for example, your signing is supposed to be at 123 address is 10 minutes away. Now they want you to go to 456, which is an hour away. Now they've changed the whole terms. So yes, you go back and you change your terms. Okay. But the best time to negotiate is at the initial interaction. If they send you an email, I'm going to give you a sample. So we did a phone call. If they send you an email, you looking on your phone, you're like, ding. Oh, wow, $20. I wouldn't mind doing it, but the price is just not right. I'm going to start typing my email. Respectfully, hello, ABC Signing. I would love to accept the assignment. And a lot of times there's a place when you're doing the phone notifications for you to counter back in within there to say if you like a different time, if you like more money or whatever, you can, I always start off with a greeting. Hello, good morning, good afternoon. I would love to accept the assignment. However, I would like to request ABC, another $35 or an additional $50. And again, back to Jeffrey's point, there's nothing wrong with you saying because of the distance, because of the time of day. Okay? There's nothing wrong with that. If you know how many pages it is, it could sometimes, because a notification may say 100 to 150, or may say 200 pages. Sometimes or if you know it's a oh my God, I can't even call it package.
Refund.
Older people.
Refund.
No, older people.
Oh,
Reverse
reverse
mortgage.
mortgage.
Yes. If you know it's a reverse mortgage, you know those packages are going to be over 200 pages. So we're not going to do that for $20. Okay. Now, I did say that because it's $20 worth of paper and ink and time and everything. So once you learn what you're up against and you have knowledge, knowledge is power. Alexis and Jeffrey, would you like to add to what can you add in the email part if they receive a notification that way?
Yeah, the same thing. I mean, we always talked about, and I also would just make sure, just remember too, if you do get an assignment and it doesn't mention anything about a witness, and you get the package, you see, okay, a witness is needed, you called your signer, you ask them, do you have a witness? They say yes. Maybe it's a day out, maybe it's the same day. And in the end, they may call you back and say, oh, I don't have a witness anymore. That's another time that you can kind of go back and say, hey, signing company, the client had a witness, they don't have one anymore. How would you like to proceed? I can provide one. It'll be an additional fee, et cetera, et cetera. And then they will, figure it out from there. They could call the client and say, hey, do you have somebody else that you could, if they just didn't want to pay it. But usually they'll go ahead and pay it, whatever you're asking, that witness fee. But they can say, well, let me check back with the signer, try to get out of paying that little extra bit of money and kind of push the signer like, hey, you have a neighbor. I've seen it happen before. That's why I'm saying it. They'll try to push to see if the signer can't find somebody, but sometimes they can't. A lot of people don't have a lot of people that they want in their business. So that's another potential way you could get an extra fee.
Jeffrey?
No, that was a good point. It's a good point, Alexis. And also, I'll piggyback what Kimmy mentioned about the time of day. If you know that in your area that it's going to be heavy traffic, and you may have to leave earlier, or just the pure hassle of traffic in that area that you're having to go to, then that accounts as well. You can bring that up and mention that to the signing company.
That is so true, because sometimes we've taken an assignment knowing it's downtown Atlanta, and I'll let them know that, and they'll start laughing too, because everybody knows we live in Atlanta. If you know anything about Atlanta traffic, so I'll say, hey, I don't mind, but it's going to take me even more processing time, more travel time. So you have to be willing to be humble and to be honest, open. And it's not that you're begging. They need you and you need them. We need each other. We need the signing companies and they need us. Okay. So that was just a few of the tips we wanted to share with you. We're going to get some of these comments. So again, always be professional, be patient, because some of these negotiations take time. You have to be in constant communication with them. Always put it in print if you can. Follow up with the email. They usually will. They're very good about, normally I found that even on the phone call, when they're calling you, when they send you over the written part of the assignment, that they'll put in print what you talked about. And for some reason, if it's not right, straighten it out before you even start anything. Don't say, oh, let me go do the signing and then I'll call them back. No, if they told you it's going to increase to 75 and they send it over to you and it's not 75, now's the time to call them, not after you do the signing. Because once it's completed, it's just like your signers in the notary field. Once you stamp that paper, everything else is off the table. Anything else y'all talked about is over. Okay, so let's hit these comments. So Bryce says he tried working in car sales, but now he's going back to be a notary. Haha. Come on back, Bryce. Come on. You're in Texas too, Bryce. You should be able to make some things happen. If not, just kind of reach out. Let's see what we can do to help you. Okay. Stacey Ann says, I just try to sell my skills and always end up with, I would love to have a great relationship with you and your clients. Yes, let them know you want the work. Again, you are not begging. You are just letting them know, yes, I want to work for you. And people want someone that want to work for them. They don't want to be twisting your arm and you hemming and hawing like, oh, I guess I can make it. Oh, let me, it's like, no, I want the business. Let them feel that. Tamisha says, anytime you badmouth another professional, that same is not as demonstrating good sportsmanship. That is so true, Tamisha. And that's why, again, we're not gonna say I'm better than other notaries. I've been trained by ... or whatever. Even though we know most notaries, and I'm gonna say most because it's still a lot of emails that we get from signing companies that we work with about errors. So I'm gonna say quite a few notaries still are just winging it and not being trained. I'm gonna say it. And somebody might say, well, how you gonna say everybody? Or so, yeah, a lot still are not being trained. They're just going out there and just trying to fake it till they make it. Stacey Ann says, I try to get them to remember my name with a smile. I do a lot of prior up front. Yes, and that's the best time to develop that relationship, as we stated before. Also, make sure you are checking the portal to see the price increase is showing. And I did mention that already. Once they increase that price, you want to make sure that it's documented somewhere before you do the signing, not afterwards. Okay. And one more tip that Stacey Ann just brought to my mind, and I'll let Jeff and Alexis jump in. Can y'all find Latoya's comment? Because I skipped her comment.
I was gonna tell you when you got done. I got it.
Oh, let's get Latoya's comment, and then I'll go back to what Stacey Ann mentioned.
It says 609.
Thank you. Sorry, Latoya.
What about when others come behind you and take the job for the lesser amount? That hurts the market. So let's talk to Latoya's point, and then we'll go back to Stacey Ann. Remind me about Stacey Ann accepting assignments, guys, from the portal. So Latoya, and that is true, and I hear people say that all the time, right? Well, if you don't take it, somebody else is going to take it for the lower amount. It's going to affect the market, and all of that is true. But at the end of the day, guys, it's just like any other business. People had a fit. Our parents all used to work for Ford Motor Company, okay, in Detroit. And back in the day, when we were little, it was almost a sin matter of fact, it was to drive like a foreign car, like to drive a Honda, a Nissan, or anything like that, Mazda. They were shooting people at the plant back in the day for driving a car that was not made here in the United States. It was terrible if you drove a car. Do you remember that, Jeffrey?
Oh yeah. I mean, and when we moved to Georgia, I mean, we had a friend of ours. I just thought, I don't want to say his name, but we had, and he had a Honda, and I think he worked for Ford or GM. And I was like, what? I couldn't believe it. But when we moved down here, okay, well, up north, it's very common. All you see is Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, the American-made cars, and GM. And then we would see a few Hondas and a Lexus or whatever, rare, but it wasn't that much until we moved down here. And I'm like, oh my goodness, there's all these different brands of cars. I mean, for the last 20 years, I've been driving a Honda, so.
And we only drove like Ford.
That's all
until
we
moved here. Ford, Mercury, Lincoln.
Yep, that's
until
all
we
drove.
moved to Georgia, and then we bought our first Honda.
Yeah.
And my dad was like, "Ooh, okay." Yeah. And then he realized how good a car they were.
And that's all we've been driving for the last 20 years. We switched out at least 2-3 sets, like two cars.
Yeah, because he can't have a new car, and I don't have a new car, y'all.
Yeah, so you see, well, that's a whole other story. But with that being said, but it's got to be they're Hondas, and Lexi, she has a Lexus, but we don't, Why were you bringing that story up though?
Okay, yes, let's go back to it.
We keep going.
So the reason I brought that up though is because, to Latoya's point, it's going to go down. Yeah. At one time, like I said, we couldn't drive a foreign-made car, but now who is dominating the car space? BMW, German-made. You know what I'm saying? Mazda, Honda, Nissan. So it's still, the market is going to do what the market does. Business is going to do what businesses do, and that's make money. So that's why I'm trying to teach you today to try to negotiate, because sometimes even for the signing companies, a bird in the hand beats two in the bush. And what do I mean by that? They may think, oh, it's 100 notaries out there. I ain't got to negotiate with Kimmy. I don't have to negotiate with Jeff or Alexis. And then they start making phone calls and nobody picking up their phone. Then guess what? They're going to call you right back, or they have to put the signing back out there for a higher amount. That's where I was going with Stacey Ann's comment. She didn't say this, but this is what I'm piggybacking off of something she did say. Sometimes they may put that signing out there for $20. They can't find anyone. You decide, hey, I'm not going to take it. 10 minutes later, they'll put it back out there. Now it's up to $40. Now they'll put it back out there another 20 minutes from now for 55. So that lets you know they do have some money to play with. They not broke as everybody trying to act like. Okay? They want to keep as much of it as profits, but they're not broke because they're still charging the same amount. Okay.
And and going back to Latoya's point, as she was talking about the notaries taking jobs for a lesser amount. Now, it could be a couple of things. It could be the notary is just getting started, and they're going to take, they're taking jobs for experience. Having said that, though, you have to make a decision for yourself what you're worth. I think Stacey Ann made something or made a reference to that later in the comments. But you think about what you're worth, but at the same time, you want to be you want to be reasonable. If you just get started, then you need to get your feet wet so that you know what it's like to go and stamp the paper and meet someone at their home or at a particular business. And then at the same time, though, if it's too low, like Kim says, and they get the person that maybe doesn't have that experience, you doesn't want it to be you now, or they don't know what they're doing, and then that job is put back out. We've done jobs where we had to drive up, let's say a half an hour just to stamp one page because the previous notary, and I don't know what the circumstances were, whether they just overlooked something, it was just an honest mistake. But the point of it is balance. You just use balance for yourself. You don't want to take just anything, but at the same time, you have to be balanced as to what's going to work good for you financially.
That was an excellent point, Latoya. I'm so sorry I missed you. We needed to have that conversation. Oh, go ahead, Alexis.
Another thing I say this in my loan signing class. This is just like another little note. I know people take whatever type of jobs, and I always say I can't tell people, how to feed their family, because some people, they have to do this, right? But one thing I do understand is, just like Stacey Ann was saying, I know what I do. I know how I execute documents, and I know how thorough I am. And that's just like with the notary business. My training today, my student today, he was like, it's just so many notaries up here where I'm at. I don't know how I'm going to compete. Some of them are 24 hours. And I tell him, I was like, I'm going to say it as blunt as I can. You will be fine. A lot of people don't even answer the phone. You will be fine. So that's just with anything. It's always going to be competition, so to speak. But you got to know what you're worth. So just like Stacey said, I don't look at, somebody take this job for 20, 25, because I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen day in and day out. People take $20 jobs, and I saw something go out earlier last week. It was $20 in Atlanta. Excuse me. And a witness was required. What? I'm not joking with you. I looked at it and I closed my phone. Right. Again. I was like, okay, this is, it had the same city and same setup. So I was like, this is the same assignment. I clicked on it again. It went up to $45. Nobody accepted it.
Oh, I'm looking at that job. I'm looking at it right now.
Oh, you saw it?
I got the hit for it. I'm looking. I just happened to look. And it says, yeah, offering pay $20.
They didn't win out again for 45. And I just chuckled because I was like, who is doing this and a witness is required?
Oh, actually, and then on top of that, it says, and it cannot be, I thought it said cannot be another notary. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, as a
yeah.
So when you take an assignment for that dollar amount, you might as well cut the signing company a check for $25 and say thank you.
So yes, I do. I want other notaries to know, yes, what they're worth. But on the flip side of that, you really gonna know what you're worth when you put in some training behind you. You got some backing, and you're not gonna mess up on these documents. Mm-hmm. That's what really sets you apart. Are they gonna have to double pay and put you in the "don't hire this person again" category? Because they will do it for real.
Yeah.
They will do it.
We don't just be saying that for shock effect, guys. We do not say that for shock effect. Our people who have not trained with us, they'll call us and say, "Hey, I just made this mistake. What's gonna happen?" We'll tell them what's gonna happen. So let's get these last few comments, guys, because unfortunately we got like 2 seconds and we're actually over. But I have to hit these comments. So Swan says that they drive Edge, Mustang, F-150, and Rangers. What?
That's right. You got that right.
Or
You know that.
Blue, go Blue.
Right.
Stacey Ann, I love what Stacey Ann says. And I think we'll get these last couple comments and this is how we're going to wrap it up. So Katrina said that's all she drives is Hondas, Toyota when she can't afford it. Swan says know your worth and add tax to it. I love it. Stacey Ann still talking about her skills, how she runs her company, answer the phone. And Latoya saying thanks. So this is how we're going to wrap it up because I think Stacey Ann put it very nicely in a capsule tonight, guys. I had to try to get my mind off of what else was happening. I just got to keep my standard high. I don't get to increase, but I do push back with my skills and get a higher pay. So that's the point. Don't worry about what somebody else is doing. Focus about what you bring to the table. Because at the end of the day, when they cut the check, they only cut it to one notary. Make sure you're the notary that they're cutting that check to, okay? So just a reminder, though, I did start another YouTube channel really quickly, guys. Business Life with Kimmy. It is all things business. It's not just notary, but it will definitely help you in your notary business. I do put the links to those videos over in Facebook. Alexis also started a YouTube channel. It's going amazing. She's focusing on marketing, Google My Business. So check her out. What's your channel, Alexis?
Alexis Notary Services, LLC.
Okay, Alexis Notary Services, LLC. So check out her YouTube channel. And for more tips, because we can't put everything over here, guys. We run 3 different businesses. So you will find tips that Alexis has. Because I actually got some tips from her video. Her marketing video she did the other day. So please check out all the channels. That'd be a way to support us also. And support your business at the same time. All the courses, self-paced, are still on sale. 60% off. Coupon code is WIN23. And we are still offering the one-on-ones, private individual lessons. That's you and me, you and Alexis, you and Angela, either loan signing agent or notarize like a pro, okay? So we got all the questions, all the answers. Again, feel free to ask these signing companies for more money, guys. This is your business and you get to run it. On behalf of Notary Life with Kimmy, I'm going to say good night and thank you all for joining us. Sorry we had to have an abbreviated session, but we did not want the day to go by without sharing something with you. Alexis, you want to say a bye? And Jeffrey?
Yes. I'll be quick. You all have a good rest of the week. We'll see you all soon. Have a good one.
All right, and enjoy, everybody. Enjoy the rest of the week. Going to the stores these next few days is going to be murder. So be careful out there, but enjoy yourself and be careful.
Yeah, we'll probably take off next week, guys. You'll see me throughout the week, but we'll take off next Monday because of the holiday. I know it's Thursday, Friday, but people are going to still be chilling. So we'll see you the first Monday in December, okay? So we'll take off next week, but I will make sure I drop you a video next Monday night in place of this, okay? So until next time, guys, bye. Much success.
All right, everybody. See you in a little bit.
Good night.